Once again, good evening to all of you. I hope you all are well. Again, the same point, so many changes in the GST. So we are starting the changes in the budget finance bill 2022 proposed, and it is not yet notified. In the same pattern, there would be the notifications which will fix the date on which the provision would be effective. So I can say the main changes or the area in which we have to concentrate is the input tax credit. Lot of changes or lot of interlinking changes. We are starting one by one. The first change in the left hand side, I have given the section number of the finance bill 2022. This is not the GST section number. So section 99, it means it is the section of the finance bill. What it has proposed, it has inserted new clause. It has inserted new clause in the 16.2. Can anybody tell me? Recently, there is also one more clause has been added. Can anybody tell me in the chat box? Recently, one more clause has been inserted effective from 1/1/2022 with respect to input tax credit. What was that? वो क्या था? Absolutely correct. You all are requested to participate to make more interactive. The answer is 16(2)AA, which was only saying you supplier, I am a recipient, you will file GST-R1, it should be communicated to me. And again, we know the 36(4) has been amended, that given the reference of the rule, 36(4) was given the reference of GST-R2B. That condition was crystal clear to all of you. If something is being communicated in the 2B, then we would be eligible to take the ITC. Now they are saying we are adding one more condition. Now after this condition, there are total 6 conditions for taking the input tax credit. What is the condition? Details. One minute. The details of the input tax credit in respect to the said supply communicated to the registered person under section 38 has not been restricted. What does it mean? We need to read the section 38. Please note one thing. There is a section 38 we will read, and then we will able to understand what does it mean not being restricted by section 38. Subsection 2 clause B. I like to bring your kind attention on this section. I can say it's very, very important for all of us and very, very dangerous to all of us. Crux of this provision, everything it's shifted on the recipient who is taking the input tax credit. Everything, whether supplier is doing the compliances or not, whether he is taking the proper things ITC or not, every compliances ka responsibility has been fixed to the recipient. Let's read the provision. Details of the supply in respect of such credit cannot be availed. It means it is appearing in the 2B, but you cannot take the credit fully or partly by the recipient on account of the details of the said supply being furnished under subsection 1 of 37. It means GST-R1. 37(1) is the GST-R1. Supplies in the cooling period of taking new registrations. They have not yet specified what period is prescribed. What does it mean? You are supplier. In the example 32, in the example, you are the supplier, I am a customer. You have taken new registrations. You remember 31 subsection 3. revised invoice concept. It has to be issued within 30 days. Now they are trying to say they will report in the GST R1 in the period prescribed. That invoice should be reported in the GST R1 in the period prescribed. Not yet prescribed. Probably in the time to come, there would be some rule. Point is, if the supplier is not reporting that transaction, that invoice in the period prescribed, I am not eligible to take ITC. Even though, see, please note, in all the transaction we are discussing, the transaction is appearing in the 2B, but still I am not allowed to take ITC. Transaction is appearing in the 2B, but I am not allowed to take ITC. We are talking these 6 points which has been newly inserted. Second, supplier who has defaulted the tax payment for continuous period as prescribed in the rules. Not yet prescribed, yet to see what they are going to prescribe for these new conditions. But now they are saying, if you are defaulting the payment of the taxes, I would not be eligible to take ITC. Supplier who has paid the taxes in 3B, but less than in 3B compared to GSTR 1. Recently, we know that we are able to see how much supplier has discharged the tax liability. Correct. Certain percentage is coming 102%, 98%, something like that. They are saying if supplier is not paying the full taxes, you being a recipient, I being a recipient, not eligible to take ITC. How to determine that for which invoice? Supplier has paid the taxes, because in the 3B we know the consolidated amount is going. Practically, it's going to be challenged. How the compliance is to be made, it's really difficult. Next condition, ITC who has availed the ITC more than allowed the limit under section 38(2)(a). So 38(2)(a) we will discuss in the section 38 changes. But see, supplier who has availed the ITC more than what he is allowed. Being a recipient, I have to check that you have taken the ITC in accordance with the limit which is being prescribed. I know that limit they are going to be prescribed, but I am the recipient for your transaction. Now, will you allow me to check your ITC? Answer is no. So how I can going to be checked? Either there would be some form or there would be some mechanism. But now what they are trying to say by 38(2), every responsibility is being shifted on the person who is taking the ITC. Now I need to check whether you have paid the taxes. I need to check whether you have paid full taxes, which is reported in GSTR 1 and 3B. I need to check whether you have taken proper ITC. All those judgment DY Bethel, we all know that recipient cannot be penalized for the default of the supplier. What's going to be the situation after insertion of this provision? Time will tell. It will judicially checked. It will always challenged, no doubt about that, because everything cannot be fixed on me. You being a GST officer, would have more power compared to me. But now everything is fixing on me that if you have taken wrong ITC, you need to reverse along with interest. That one more interesting provision is being added. If I have taken wrong ITC, I need to reverse along with interest. And there is a provision of reclaiming of that wrong ITC. I'm not talking about 180 days wala concept. New more concept. Reclaim, reverse, reclaim. So reclaim, reverse, reclaim. We are going to be discussed. This I can say 38(2) clause B is very dangerous. You please make a note. Next, supplier who is defaulted in complying mandatory payment of the tax liability in cash, if applicable, 1% of the tax liability. So I have to check whether 99% liability is being paid in cash. Sorry, 99% is utilized through ITC, and minimum one has to be paid in cash. 86B, right? There is a proviso, you remember, if director has paid more than 1 lakh ka taxes in 2 consecutive financial year, if you have taken the refund 54(3). So will you tell me all these things? If you will not tell me, then how I come to know? Let's wait how this provision would be implemented in the time to come. We will be informed by this amendment, but I hope it is clear. So what is the things? The things is the new condition is really danger, that something is appearing in the 2B. That is not the only criteria for taking the ITC. The additional criteria, that the transaction which is appearing in the 2B, it should not be restricted. Moving further, (43) capital A, they have deleted 43 capital A. You remember the concept of new return system. So in between there was a discussion going on that RET1, RET2, ANX1, ANX2, something, that mechanism was introduced. For that there was certain new section. Now the GSTR 3B and the GSTR 1 are going to be continue. So there would be no concept of new return. So correspondingly provision is being removed, omitted. 43 capital A is one of that sections. Now what is the replication? One more thing I can say you remember that nowadays till today I can say, whenever the department is challenging the mismatch of input tax credit between 2A versus 3B, in your draft notice, in your reply to the notices, you are mentioning section 43 capital A, which was inserted but not yet effective. We are using that. Correct. 43 capital A was talking before 36(4). I am talking about 36(4) was added on 9th of October 2019. I am going to this removal would help you in terms of the drafting the reply. How, sir? How it can help? You can say, now the government has decided to remove the 43 capital A. It means prior to that there is no legal backing for 36(4). I'm talking about initial period before 36(4). Before 36(4) I'm talking about. So please make a note. That's good thing. So we all know that we can take the ITC. One quick question to all of you. I'm allowing the chat. You can give the reply. It's appreciated if you reply me. We can take the ITC after the end of the financial year till September, correct? GSTR 3B. So that is the due date of the September month return or actual filing of the September month return? That was the September month due date or September month actual date of the filing? Answer is due date, sir. We are talking about 16(4) ka ITC. We are talking about input tax credit time limit, which is being mentioned in the 16 subsection 4. There is a slight changes. So till now I can say that cutoff date is linked to the, till now I can say the cutoff date is linked to the September month return. So they are specifying the return. Now they have fixed the particular date. See, earlier they are talking about the September month return, whatever the due date. Now they have fixed the date. It is 30th November, 30th November. Basically, they have changed the language, and instead of the September, they are saying 30th November. Whatever the GSTR 3B you file by 30th November, you can take the ITC. So basically, I can say, so now I can take the ITC of October month return, which is I'm going to file in the November. Now October month return I file by 20th of November, 22, 24, 26, 28, doesn't matter. Till 30th November if I file, no problem. You are entitled to take ITC. One big difference. Now think about QRMP. Are they filing the GSTR 3B on monthly basis? No, sir. On quarterly basis. QRMP are required to file on monthly or quarterly? Quarterly. Can anybody tell me the due date for the month of the September? QRMP due date for the month of the September. What is the due date of the QRMP for the month of the September? QRMP I'm talking about. Either 22 or 24. Either 22 or 24 of October. 22 or 24 of October. Correct, na? So it means the 30th November would be irrelevant for me. If I am a QRMP, for me it is irrelevant, because for me after September I will file the GST R3B for the quarter December. So it means for the QRMP my cutoff date would be the September month return. So I can repeat, for monthly taxpayer it would be the October month return, provided it has to be furnished by 30th of November. And for QRMP it would be September quarter return, provided it has to be furnished by 30th of November. They've fixed the date. Earlier they are talking about the return, now they've fixed the date. Welcome change. Slight time extended, no problem. Great. That part would remain same following the end of the financial year, and annual return, furnishing of annual return, whichever is earlier, that part would remain same. Now, section 29, we all know. 29 subsection 2, cancellation of registration. 29.2, proper officer has the power to cancel the GST registration. But the problem is, you know that that composition taxpayer, they are filing the return monthly or quarterly? Quickly tell me, the composite taxpayer are filing the return monthly or quarterly? You tell me whatever I ask. Sir, annually. Annually. Composite taxpayer are filing the return monthly or quarterly, I ask. Answer is neither monthly nor quarterly. Earlier it was quarterly, now it become yearly. After the end of the financial year, correct, na? After the end of the financial year, by 30th of April, I need to submit form number. Quickly tell me form number. Which form number? What is the return? What is the return? GSTR4. Now see the language. Person paying the tax under section 10 has not furnished the return for 3 consecutive tax period. It means for 3 years. CMP 08 is not a return. They are paying the taxes by the statement CMP 08. They are not filing the return any periodically. They are filing only yearly, annually. So it means if I say 3 consecutive tax period, it means their return would be only cancelled if 3-year return has not been furnished by the composite taxpayer. The proper officer has the power to cancel. Now they are saying the return for a financial year beyond 3 months from the due date of furnishing the said return. Drafting error, but that has to be changed, na? Not the drafting error. See, what is the problem, sir? They have changed one language. They have changed one system, but correspondingly, they have not made any changes. We know that GSTR2A, GSTR1A, GSTR3, whether it was introduced, no. But correspondingly, section 41, 42, nowhere changed. Till now, it was same like earlier mechanism system, earlier old concept of the return. Now they have implemented the changes. It is not the drafting error. It was as per the old provisions. Provision, respective return provision has been changed, but correspondingly they have not changed. Same thing. Now read the language. So why I am discussing too much about the language? Because we know if we receive the notice, then on the basis of the language, we can definitely prepare our reply. We can very well draft the reply by saying this. Any registered person other than the period specified, other than the person specified in the clause B has not furnished the return for a continuous period of 6 months. Continuous period of 6 months. Will it justify for QRMP? Will it justify for QRMP? Are they filing the return on monthly? Answer is no, they are filing the return on quarterly. So the language is wrong. They have inserted the provision on 39(1) for making QRMP effective, but correspondingly changes is not made at everywhere. So now they are saying such continuous tax period as may be prescribed. Now they have shifted from section, they have shifted the power to the rules, or they can specify by way of notification. Same 34(2) credit note. We can issue the credit note for the financial year after the end of the financial year till September, or annual return, whichever is earlier. Correct? Now, same things. They are saying till 30th November you can issue the credit note or annual return, whichever is earlier. So slight more time is being added. No problem. It's welcome changes. Sorry. 37. Section 37 is details of the outward supply. Section 37 is the details of the outward supplies. Every registered person other than ISD, NRTP, person paying the tax under section 10, 51, 52 self-furnish electronically. Now they are saying instead of the self-furnish electronically, subject to such condition and restriction as may be prescribed, in such form and such manner as may be prescribed. With this amendment, legal backing has been given to the 59(6). Now see, very interesting change. You know 59(6). If you not file the GSTR 3B, you cannot furnish the GSTR 1. Am I right? Recent amendment, if you not furnish the GSTR 3B of the previous period, you cannot furnish the GSTR 1 of the current period. They are whether this restriction is there in the section 37(1), in such form and such manner as may be prescribed. No restriction. I can say this rule does not have any legal backing. Definitely we can say, because they are not talking about any restriction, then why the restriction is being imposed on the GSTR 1? We will discuss. There is a restriction in section 39. Earlier there is a restriction only in 39. Means the restriction is there, but that was only for 3B. There cannot be any restriction for the GSTR 1. Now they have added such condition and such restrictions. Now I can say it will be proper legal backing for 37(1). Read with rule 59 sub rule 6. Then read the changes. Shall communicated, same GSTR 1 section 37 subsection 1 I am reading. After that, on or before 10th day succeeding the said tax period, and such detail shall be communicated to the recipient of the said supply within such time and such manner as may be prescribed. That was the things. Now shall subject to such condition and restriction within such time and manner as may be prescribed, communicated to the recipient. Again the same point, they have added the word restriction and conditions. What was the condition? If you will not furnish the GSTR 1 by the due date, it will not be communicated in the GSTR 2B of the same month. That is the condition. That is the restriction. Whether the condition was there in the GSTR 2A? No, sir. There was no condition. These condition is being part of the GSTR 2B. Correct. But there is no corresponding word restriction or condition is there. Now they have added the word. Provided that the registered person shall not be allowed to furnish the details of the outward supply during the period from the 11th to the 15th day of the month succeeding the tax period. You know that earlier there was a concept that supplier will file the GSTR 1 by 11th. It will be communicated in the GSTR 2A of the recipient. He cannot add any transaction between 11 to 15. Sorry, earlier it was 10th. And then they are saying He cannot add any transaction between 11 to 15th. Then he will add 16, 17. He will add the transaction. It will be communicated in the 1A. He will make the amendment. So many two-way communication. The two-way communication system was not implemented, but problem is corresponding language of any law, of any act, is of any particular provision are still there. So they have removed these provisions which are talking about older pattern of written system, two-way communication of the written system. All such provision has been modified, deleted, omitted, etc. by this Finance Bill 2022. Same, the proviso was talking about GSTR 1A, 2A, two-way communication. Now it is not required, so they have omitted. Every registered person who has communicated the details under 38.3 or the detail pertaining to the inward supply ISD and 38.4 shall either accept or reject. Again, the system was only in the language, but not practically and not yet implemented. Problem was, again, the language is still there, not yet changes, which we are using in terms of the drafting the reply. Yes, that is the problem. So again, it has been omitted. So no concept of two-way communication. Please note, no concept of two-way communication after Finance Bill 2022. Any registered person who has furnished the details under subsection 1 for any tax period and which has been remained unmatched 42, 43 upon discovery of any error or omission, rectify such error or omission in such manner as may be prescribed and shall pay the tax interest in case there is a short payment of the tax on account of the error or omission. I will file the return. You will accept or reject. If you will reject, it will be again communicated to me. I will modify addition, deletion. Then I will accordingly file my GSTR 3. Again, the two-way communication concept of matching, mismatching, reversal, no, not applicable in the portal. They have removed from the law as well. So this part, which has been remained unmatched under section 40 to 43, that part has been removed. Again, the time limit has been extended. No rectification or error or omission in respect of the details furnished. Tell me one thing. One thing I like to ask. Very interesting. Suppose there is some wrong detail in my outward supplies. Okay. I have furnished wrong information. So I can make the changes. I can make the changes till September after the end of the financial year, that is okay. But which return, GSTR 1 or GSTR 3B? Up to which date I can do the amendment? My question, I'm repeating my question. I like to make the amendment in my details of the outward supplies. We know the language is the GSTR. We know that I will do the correction in the GSTR 1. But by which date I can do the correction? Till the due date of the GSTR 1 or till the due date of the GSTR 3B? Absolutely correct. The answer is GSTR 3B. I require to do the correction in the GSTR 1. I require to do the correction, emission, order, everything, rectification in the GSTR 1, but the language was saying till the due date of the section 39 return. Till the due date of the section 39 return. So I can say they are talking about section 39 means GSTR 3B. Not the GSTR 1. In the first proviso for the word furnishing the return under section 39 for the month of the September, instead of that they have written 30th day of the November. So what they have changes till now? First we have discussed ITC time limit has been extended to 30th November. After that, credit note issuance time limit has been extended 30th November. Third is rectification in the GSTR 1. Rectification or any omission error in respect of the GSTR1, 37.1 GSTR1, I can do the correction till 30th November. Again, I'm repeating again, please note one thing, they are not talking about any month return. They are talking about cutoff date. You are filing any return, but if you furnish till 30th November, it can be pertain to any month, you can do the rectification. That concept which we have discussed, GSTR1 3B for monthly or quarterly, that would remain applicable here also. So not repeating that part. Sorry. 1 minute. Following subsection shall be inserted. It is a new subsection. A registered person shall not be allowed to furnish the details of the outward supplies under subsection 1 if the details of the outward supply for any of the previous tax period has not been furnished. Repeating again, registered person shall not be allowed to furnish the details of the outward supply under subsection 1, 37.1 they are talking about. It means I cannot furnish my GSTR1 if the previous tax period GSTR1 is not being furnished, provided government can give the relaxation according to the any specified person by issuance of notification, etc. This restriction was already implemented in the GST portal. You know that we know that portal are working against the law or in different manner in the law. Multiple times we have noticed. Correct. Now, why this has been inserted? It is already there. It is already there in the portal, but now they have given in the law so that you cannot challenge the portal. Now section 38, first read the 38 one. Entire section 38 has been substituted, replaced. Earlier 38 has entirely been replaced with the new 38. The details, and this is most important, details of the outward supply furnished by the registered person under subsection 1 of section 37 and of other supplies as may be prescribed, and auto-generated statement containing the details of the input tax credit ITC shall be made available electronically to the recipient of such supply in such form and such manner as may be prescribed. Condition restriction, every word is being added. 38.2 auto-generated statement under subsection 1 shall consist of details of the inward supplies in respect of which credit of the input tax may be available to the recipient. You know, earlier they were talking about matching, mismatching concept, accept, reject, everything is being replaced. Now they are talking about only the recipient is the person who has to check all the condition before taking the ITC. We have already discussed in the second page. I have discussed this 6th clause. This is in the Bare Act language, but that I have given in the understanding language. So again, let me quickly tell you details of the supply in respect of which such credit cannot be availed by the recipient on account of the details of the said supply being furnished under 37.1. You are the supplier, you are the furnishing the transaction. It is communicating to me, but 38.2b is saying I cannot avail that ITC. Why I cannot avail that ITC? Because of that cooling period, such period as may be prescribed. So again, we have to wait for the rule. Any registered person who has defaulted in payment of the tax and where such default has been continued for such period as may be prescribed, it means there would be some rule which will tell us that I cannot take the ITC for the period if supplier is making the default for a continuous period of say X month. Rule would come which will be interlinked with 38.2b. By any registered person, output tax payable by whom in accordance with the GSTR1 under 37.1 as may be prescribed exceed the output tax liability, it means GST R1 has been reported with higher tax liability, 3B has been reported with the lower tax liability. Taxes has been paid lower amount. By such limit as may be prescribed. Again, what could be the limit? 5% extra, 10% less, 20%. What could be the limit? We all know. We all don't know. Again, the rule will come into the picture. They will specify. Think about complications. We are trying to digest the existing provision. New provision has been added and with lot of interlinking. That's the true problem of the GST. Otherwise, there is no problem at all. Very, very easy to understand if it is not so much having the frequent changes. By any registered person who during such period as may be prescribed has availed the ITC of an amount that exceed the credit that can be availed by him in accordance with the clause A. Try to understand. Again, the limit would be specified. By any registered person who during such period as may be prescribed has availed the ITC. Now, I being a recipient, I have to verify that whether supplier is availed the ITC in accordance with GSTR 2B or not. I don't know how it will be checked, how this would be implemented. Before taking the ITC, I have to do a lot of control. I have to establish a lot of internal control, lot of checking. By any registered person who has defaulted in discharging the tax liability in accordance with the provision that 1%, 99% or 1% concept, such other class of the person as may be prescribed. So that we have discussed a lot. Now they have reduced the time limit. They have reduced the time limit for filing the GSTR 5 by non-resident taxpayer. So NRTP, non-resident taxpayer, are filing the GSTR 5. Due date earlier it was 20th. Now they've reduced to 13th. 1-3. 39.7. Reading the proviso to 39.7. Provided that every registered person furnish the return under the proviso to subsection 1. What is the proviso to subsection 1? Shall pay to the government the tax due into account inward and outward supplies of the goods or services or both, input tax credit availed, tax payable and such other particular in such form and such manner within such time as may be prescribed. So they are highlighting the word tax due, taking into account inward and outward supplies. Repeating again, proviso has been changed. Why the proviso has been changed? Let us understood. Provided that every registered person furnishing the return under proviso to subsection 1. So they are talking about QRMP. So Q39(1) ka proviso is talking about quarterly return filer. Shall pay. It means there is no choice. Shall means it's mandatory. They have to pay. How they have to pay? The tax due, taking into account inward and outward supplies of the goods or services or both. It means what is the compulsion on the QRMP? They have to pay the tax and only one option. There is no other choice. How to pay? They will take into account inward and outward supplies, ITC, avail tax payable such as the particular during a month in such form and such manner within such time as may be prescribed. Question number 1. First tell me, what is the form by which QRMP will pay the tax? First question, what is the form by which QRMP will pay the tax on monthly basis? Answer is PMT 06. Kindly confirm question number 2. Kindly answer question number 2. What is the due date of the PMT 06? What is the due date of the payment of the tax? What is the due date of the payment of the tax? 23, 24, 25, 18, 25, 20. Oh my God. So many due dates are there. Answer is only 25th. Now, very interesting question. How many methods are there to pay the taxes? To calculate the payment of the taxes, how much they need to pay the taxes? How many methods are there? For QRMP, How many methods are there to pay the taxes? Can you tell me? Can you tell me the name? Can you tell me the name? One is self-assessment and second is fixed sum method. They have the two options, right? Now read the language. Now read the language. They do not have any options. As per the proviso to 39(7), QRMP do not have any option to pay the taxes. They have to pay the taxes whatever it is being due. It means only self-assessment. There is no method, fixed sum method applicable according to the 39(7) ka proviso. Now that part has been taken care and correspondingly they have made the amendment. What is the amendment? Now read the proviso. Every registered person furnishing the return under section subsection 1 to the proviso, it means QRMP, shall pay to the government in such form and such manner as may be prescribed. Now there are 2 points. First, an amount equal to the tax due, taking into account same things. Like they are talking about self-assessment method. They have inserted one more point: in lieu of the amount referred to in the clause A, instead of the actual payment, instead of the making the payment which is due, you can pay any amount determined in such manner, subject to such condition and restriction as may be prescribed. I hope it is clear. They are giving the legal backing to the fixed sum method. Kindly confirm, is it clear? Now because of this clause, they are giving the legal backing to the fixed sum method. May I request to confirm, or you can ask if you have any doubt. Is it clear that the purpose of insertion of this clause, is legal backing to the fixed sum method. Otherwise, there is no concept of the fixed sum method as per the section 39. Earlier, there was only this proviso, sir. Earlier, there was in 39(7) proviso, the language is this. Method they are providing, but I can say prescribed method does not supported by the law. We are doing the same manner. We are doing in the same manner. But problem is there is no corresponding provision in the law. Yes, earlier. Existing provision subsection subject to the provision of 37 and 38, if any registered person after furnishing the return under subsection 1 or subsection 2 or subsection 3 or subsection 4 or subsection 5 discover any omission, incorrect particular other than the result of the scrutiny, audit, inspection or enforcement by the tax authority, he shall rectify such omission or incorrect particular in such form and manner as may be prescribed, subject to the payment of interest. Instead of subject to the provision of 37, 38, they are saying where. Simple concept. Matching, mismatching, wherever it is applicable, they have removed. The amendment ensure this provision should be independent of section 37 and 38, which make suo motu correction or rectification in the return practically possible, usable and friendly to the dealer who had by mistake filed their return with some incorrect particular or some omission which has been happened. So now there is no conditional rectification. It is independently you can do the rectification. In the next, again the same things. The rectification of error for the month of the September or second quarter. Now they are saying 30th November. A registered person shall not be allowed to furnish the return for a tax period if the return for any previous has not been furnished by them. 3910 GSTR 3B. Now they are saying in the subsection 10 has not been furnished by him, the following shall be substituted, or the details of the outward supply under subsection 1 of section 37. Earlier they are saying you cannot file the GSTR 3B if previous tax period return has not been furnished. It means previous 3B is pending, you cannot file the GSTR 3B. Now they are saying if the previous 3B or previous GSTR 1 is pending, you cannot furnish the GSTR 3B also. I hope you can correlate at both places. In the GSTR 1, they are saying if the previous GSTR 1 is not being furnished, you cannot file. If the previous GSTR 3B 59.6 not furnished, you cannot file the GSTR 1. Now in the 3B, they are saying if the previous 3B is not filed, you cannot file. It was all earlier. This things was available earlier. Now they are saying if the previous R1 is not filed, then also you cannot file 3B. It means everything is interlinked. You can go to the subsequent return only when the previous is filed. Before this, we have discussed the implications. A relaxation proviso, they have inserted the proviso. Government can specify by notifications. Section 41, claim of input tax credit and provisional acceptance. The word provisional is being removed. They are saying every language, entire language is same. They are saying every registered person subject to such condition and restriction as may be prescribed be entitled to take the ITC as self-assessed. Now they are not saying provisionally basis. No, you have to determine yourself in his return, and such amount shall be credited to the electronic credit ledger. (41)(2) the credit referred to in subsection 1 shall be utilized only for the payment of the self-assessed output tax as per the return referred in subsection in that said subsections. 41.2 the credit of input tax availed by the registered person under subsection 1 in respect of such supplies of the goods or services or both, the tax payable has not been paid by the supplier shall be reversed along with applicable interest. The credit of the input tax availed by the registered person under subsection 1 in respect of the supplies, the tax payable has not been paid by the supplier. Now I need to check whether you paid the taxes or not. If you not paid the taxes, I need to reverse along with interest. Provided that where said supplier make the payment of the taxes in respect of the aforesaid supply, the registered person may re-avail the ITC. May re-avail the ITC. It means earlier we are talking about there was a concept of 180 days. Claim, not paid, then reverse, reclaim. We know that concept was there. Now the same concept was added for this particular ITC. I have claimed the ITC. If supplier not paid, we know the time limit and limit would be specified as we have discussed in the 38.2. And if the supplier not paying the taxes, 41.2 is saying I need to reverse along with interest, then reclaim. Meaning thereby similar to the rule 37 and similar to the provision given in 16.2 that you can re-avail, you can reclaim whatever the ITC you reverse. I can say this would applicable on this proviso also. So on reclaiming, there would be no time limit applicable. But yet we need confirmation, we need clarity, we need the changes in the language of the law for re-availment of the ITC. Impact of such change from provisional to self-assessment. So provisional, I can say I have taken provisionally, reversal of which does not attract interest. Correct. Only interest 50 subsection 3. There was also changes. But now it is my duty to check. It is not provisionally. It is my duty to check. And if self-assessment ITC is wrong, I have to reverse along with interest. Does it make sense? Sarajji, kindly confirm. Yes, also paid. Not only filed, but also paid. Absolutely correct. Impact of such that GSTR 3B filed or not. So that is 3B has to be filed, otherwise there would be the condition 38.2 we have discussed. 38.2 we have discussed now, that I have to check whether GSTR 3B is the lower amount with the GSTR 1 or not. I have to check whether you paid the taxes or not. And if not paid, then I have to reverse along with interest. $180 days concept, that I have taken the ITC. If I am not making the payment to the supplier, that was a concept of 180 days. 16.2 proviso, read with rule 37 sub rule 1. That was saying if customer has not paid the amount including taxes to the supplier within 180 days, he has to reverse this ITC along with interest. He can reclaim at any point of time. No time bar of 16.4 would apply. Same new concept is being created. Claim, reversal, reclaim. Till now, there is only one concept of 180 days. Now there is new concept, claim, reverse. Why reverse? Because supplier has not paid the taxes. This reversal will also attract interest, and reclaim in future. Probably I can say there would be no time bar. There would be no time limit of 16.4, but yet too, they have to add these things in the prescribed in any way. They will prescribe the rule, and this part has to be added in the rule. Like 180 days reversal, reclaim, there is no time limit. These things has been given in the rule 37. Similarly, they will specify in some rule. So mechanism has to be specified. Sir, mechanism is yet to be specified. They will specify, because we have discussed, they have given 38.2, they have given 6 new condition to recipient for determination of the ITC, but they are using the word prescribed, they are using the word limit. For that, correspondingly rule will yet to come. Before it will be notified, that part will come. It has to be sure. Yes, Nina said absolutely correct. ITC, again, by need to check 3B is filed or not. It means everything correct. 3B filed or not, and also tax has been paid or not. All the things has to be checked. What if the ITC not utilized? Sir, here please note, if I have taken, then I have to reverse along with interest according to this proviso. But yes, there is an amendment in 50 subsection 3, retrospective amendment, that will help us. Wait. Any time limit for payment by supplier, obviously due date along with interest otherwise. So again, I'm saying the word time limit, word the limit, correct? Na? That will be specified by the rule. But sir, tax payment, how we can check, as both supplier and the recipient 3B due date is same, how we can check that is paid? Kindly confirm. Again, we have to wait for the changes in the mechanism, changes in the portal. Recently, you can see now that there was a one thing is coming, that how much percentage he is paid. So in the same pattern, there would be some mechanism provided by the portal. In the current mechanism, I can say 38.2B is not 38.2B, all the 6 condition or the new condition is not possible to comply. So probably till the time they will notify, till the time the particular changes will be notified, they will amend the portal, they will provide some mechanism, they will provide some method by which we have to comply these provisions. Section 106, allow me some time so that I can discuss the provision. 42, matching reversal and reclaim of ITC. 43, matching reversal and reclaims of reduction in output tax liability. 43, capital A, procedure for furnishing the return and availing the ITC. All these 3 has been omitted. There is no concept of matching, mismatching, reversal. Everything is on the customer, person who is taking the ITC. Levy of the late fees, now they have added section 52 also. Earlier section 37, 38, 39, 45. Now they are saying 52. 52 means e-commerce operator filing the GSTR 8. Correct. Next, GST practitioner, because again I can say the 38 is being entirely changed, entirely replaced, and there is no concept of inward return GSTR 2. So corresponding changes has been made in the section 48 also. They have removed the details of the inward supply under section 38 because there is no requirement also of GSTR 2. Now, wherever the reference is 43 capital A, because that has been deleted, omitted. So obviously now there is no requirement of section 43A ka cross reference. So they have omitted. Again, the amount available in the electronic credit ledger may be used for making any payment toward the output tax liability under this act or IGST in such manner subject to such condition and within such time as may be prescribed, and word restriction is being also added. 4910. A registered person may on the common portal transferring any amount of the tax, interest, penalty, fees or any other amount available in the electronic cash ledger to the electronic cash ledger for IGST, CGST, SGST, UTGST for the same GST number. Now what is being provided? You can transfer to the distinct person also. You can transfer. A registered person may on the common portal transfer any amount of the tax, interest, penalty or any other amount available in the cash ledger under this account to the electronic cash ledger of ICS of the same GST number or distinct person 25(4) or 25(5). But they have inserted one proviso that no such transfer under clause B, no such transfer under clause B shall be allowed if there is unpaid liability in the electronic liability register. You cannot transfer the cash. So please note, there is no transfer of ITC. You cannot transfer the input tax credit between the distinct person. You can only transfer the cash, but again there is one condition: your electronic liability register should not be unpaid. It should be 0. Earlier there is no such proviso. 3912 notwithstanding anything, 4912 notwithstanding anything contained, the government may on the recommendation of the council subject to such condition and restriction and such maximum proportion of the output tax liability under this act. Can we say it is now legal backing for 86B? Now it is legal backing for 86B. Government are adding the rule for adding any new condition, and obviously it will be challenged. Then whenever the subsequent amendment in the act happen, they will add the sections or they will insert any subsections. We have the multiple example. Rule 36(4), no legal backing in the law, so they have inserted 16(2)AA. Rule 96B, if you are doing the export of the goods, payment is not made, then you have to reverse or you have to return the refund for export of the goods. No legal backing. Now they have inserted 16 subsection 3 proviso in the IGST Act. Similarly, now they are saying in the 4912, they are saying such maximum portion of the output tax liability under this act may be discharged through electronic credit ledger. So they are saying 86B is now deriving the power from 49 subsection 12. Section 50 subsection 3, the two major amendment. What is the two major amendment? Sir, first it is being retrospectively amended. It is being retrospectively amended. What is that? Where the input tax credit has been wrongly availed and utilized, the registered person shall pay the interest. Now see the earlier language. A taxable person who make undue or excess claim. That was the problem. What was the problem? If I have taken only extra claim, I have not utilized, but still the department officer are asking to pay the interest at the rate of 24%. Correct? Because the word claim is there. However, it was talking about 4210 and 4310, which was not yet made available mechanism concept. And now they have deleted. Therefore, this language would not work. So they have changed. They are saying where the input tax credit has been wrongly availed and utilized, the registered person shall pay the interest on input tax credit wrongly availed and utilized at such rate not exceeding 24%. How this 18% has been notified in the subsequent finance bill sections, we will see the rate percentage, the notification has been also changed. So now the rate would be 18%. And please note, if you have already paid 24%, if you have already paid 24%, please file the refund application because this provision is going to be inserted retrospectively. I have paid 24%, file the refund for 6%. You will definitely granted the refund, no doubt about that. (52) Again, correction, time limit, no such restriction of any omission, rectification of any omission or incorrect particulars shall be allowed after the due date of the furnishing the return of the September month return. They are talking about GSTR 8. Correct. Now they are saying 30th day of the November, you can do the rectification. Almost all rectification, they have changed the time limit. Refund of the taxes. Now there is a problem. Section 54, subsection 1 proviso. It says that registered person claim the refund of any balance in the electronic cash ledger in accordance with the provision of 49(6) may claim refund in the section 39 return. But what is the problem? The GSTR 3 was not made available and it has been replaced by the 3B, and 3B does not have this feature. What we are doing to claim the refund of the electronic cash ledger, we are filing the refund application. But if I go by the proviso, it says that it would be automatically when you file the GSTR 3. Therefore, now they have removed this language, the return furnished under section 39. They have inserted such form and such manner as may be prescribed. Instead of the return, they are saying such form. Now I can say it is aligned with the GST portal. We all know we are filing RFD 01 for excess balance in electronic cash ledger. Question to all of you, quick answer. Whether time limit of 2 years would apply for taking the refund available in the electronic cash ledger for excess balance lying in the electronic cash ledger, will the time limit of 2 years would apply or not? Absolutely correct. No time limit would apply. Reason, because it is being given in the proviso. Great. United Nations Organization, UIN, any multilateral financial institution. As per the 54(2), the time limit is 6 months, but there was a notification in which they are saying you can file the refund application by 18 months. Now it is being made at par for all other refund application. Now they have made that you can also file the refund application within 2 years. 54(10), withholding of the refund. They are saying where the refund is due under subsection 3, 54(3), refund of input tax credit, refund of input tax credit, where any refund is due under subsection 3 to a registered person who has defaulted in furnishing the return or who is required to pay any tax, interest, penalty which has not been stayed by any court, tribunal or appellate authority by the specified date, the proper officer may withhold the refund. Now they are saying they are removing under subsection 3, widen the power of the officer to withhold the refund. Now they can withhold any category of the refund, not only subsection 3. If you are applying the refund for electronic cash ledger refund, excess tax paid, they can withhold your refund, because now they are saying where any refund is due to a registered person and he is defaulted in such and such thing, then it can be withheld by the proper officer. No provision relevant date 2 years, that has been defined in explanations. But please note, there is no time limit, there is no relevant date specified for SEZ category. So some officers are taking that when the goods has been removed or services has been given, from that date you can file the refund applications within 2 years. Some are saying that you can file the refund application from the due date of the month for which you are filing the return. So now they have inserted new clause BA in case of the zero rated supplies of goods or services of both to SEZ unit or SEZ developer, where the refund of the taxes paid is available in respect of such supply themselves, or as the case may be the input or input service. The due date of furnishing the return under section 39 in respect of such supply. It means when you are filing the GSTR3B, by reporting that transaction, the due date of that GSTR3B would be starting date, and from that you will count 2 years. Power to issue instruction direction. So again 38.2 they are talking about, now they have removed, because earlier it was concept of two-way communication, matching, mismatching. Okay. So now they have removed that particular, because there is no requirement to file the GSTR2. So they have removed that, there is no requirement to issue any instruction or direction. 114. Now amendment to the notification issued under section 146 of the CGST Act, read with section 20 retrospectively. Now see, there is a one notification 9 by this is basically amendment to the GST portal. So gst.gov.in, that was by this notification number. If you download this notification, at the end of the notification it says that it would be applicable from a particular date, I think so 16th of Jan. Yes, this date was there, 16th of Jan 2018. So the doubt was there, what will happen from 1st July to 15th Jan 2018? Because that notification who was saying gst.gov.in and e-way bill portal, ewb.gov.in, e-way bill portal would be the common portal, gst.gov.in would be the common portal for registration, etc. Now they are saying this particular notification shall be deemed to be retrospectively effective. Earlier they are saying it would be effective from 16th Jan 2018. Now they are saying it would be applicable from 1 July 2017. So the ambiguity between this period 1 July to 15th Jan, now it is resolved. Similarly, now I can say section 115 of CGST or the finance bill, similar section 118 of IGST, similar section 121 of UTGST. So total how many clause is inserted? How many clause is inserted? Section 99 to section 123. So total 24 clause, 24 changes is there for the GST. But I can say effectively the last 6 are same. So I can say effectively there is total 18 changes. Section 115, they are amending retrospectively. Which part they are amending? The rate of interest should be 18%. They have amended the notification issued for subsection 1 and subsection 3 of section 50, subsection 12 of section 54 and section 56. The particular, you can download that notification, and they have they are saying earlier it was not retrospectively applicable. Now that notification will be retrospectively amended. So it will have the effect, instead of 24%, I need to pay 18%. Similar notification. This is the notification number for central tax. This is a notification for integrated tax. And similarly, though this amendment legislature sought to be amended notification from the first day of the July 2017, retrospectively effective. Section 116. Retrospectively exemption for one category, supply of unintended waste during the production of the fish meal, except for fish oil, during the period commencing from 1 July 2017 to 30th September 2019. So again, for that period, they are saying it is one notification. Again, they are saying the notification reference, this notification would be retrospectively effective, meaning thereby this exemption, which exemption? Unintended waste generated during this production, that will be exempted from July 2017. Earlier it was from 1st October 2019. Similarly, again they are given the retrospective effect to the notification issued under subsection 2 of section 7. Can anybody tell me what is this section? Can anybody tell me what is the section 7 subsection 2 of the CGST Act? ये क्या section है 7.2 का? Any idea? सप्लाई तो ठीक है, सप्लाई के अलावा क्या है? सेक्शन 7 पूरा ही सप्लाई का है। Seven subsection 2 is talking about clause A and the clause B. Clause A, they have given the reference of schedule 3, and clause B, they have given the power of notifications. 7.2 is talking about the activity or the transaction which is neither supply of the goods nor supply of service. In clause B, they have issued two notification. In clause B, they have issued two notification. One is municipality or panchayat, and second is alcoholic liquor for human consumption, alcoholic liquor license. Alcoholic liquor license. They have used the power of 7(2)B to issue that notification, but that notification was not retrospectively, that was prospectively. Now this particular amendment is saying whatever that notification is there, which notification? Alcoholic liquor license, that would be deemed to be effective from 1 July 2017. At the same time, they are saying if you have already paid the taxes, you can't claim the refund. If you have already paid the taxes, you can't claim the refund. But yes, one thing we can surely say, if someone has not paid the taxes on that transaction because of RCM or because of forward charge, anything, now there would be no ambiguity, no dispute on this GST part of alcoholic liquor license between July 17 to the September 19. The last amendment, this was the last amendment from my side. The amendment part is completed. It's open for any question. We can have the discussion for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. If you have any question, we can discuss. These all, see all the new conditions. So all the new condition, how to check? Currently there is no facility, no provisions. Probably the portal would be amended, circular would be issued, rule would be notified. How to check all these 6 conditions? That supplier paid the taxes, supplier, how much, whether he has paid the taxes or not, whether he has utilized correct ITC or not. How to check? Obviously there would be some mechanism. Sure, this would be added in the portal. So this PowerPoint presentation would be added in the educating portal. You can download from there. So to all the members, you can download from the portal. Thank you very much. Ankit, approx 10-15 days. 10-15. It is in process. We have submitted the details. Probably in this week, they will issue. Sir, normally 2 month का process है. It's 2 month process. Because first, उसके बाद second exam होता है, उसके बाद paper submit होती है, recording submit होती है. So it's entire 2 month. That is the reason. हाँ, 15-20 दिन होता है. नहीं, गलत है. Sometime it's faster, sometimes slower. So we are normally ranging 1 to 2 months. Thank you very much. Goodbye to all of you. On GST portal, it is 10% variation for the difference 1 and 3B, and now in budget it is yet to be prescribed. So they are only sending the message to create unnecessary, I can say, mental pressure. 1 or 3B ka difference more than 10%. So probably I can say it would be hint that 10% would be notified, maybe. It is disabled from today. So after finance budget. Great. Thank you so much. Goodbye to all of you. We'll meet shortly. And if you like to listen the same things in Hindi, we will have the webinar. We have planned the webinar in Hindi also. Same discussion. If someone has missed, you can tell them the link would be shared. Thank you very much. Goodbye.